Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Jeffrey Klubeck, the founder and CEO of Get a Clue and the Integrity Game. Jeffrey brings a fascinating mix of expertise in communication, leadership, development, and soft skills training. Over 25 years of teaching experience as a professor at San Diego State University, and a passion for helping entrepreneurs and teams achieve motivation, accountability, and results. Based in San Diego, California, Get a Clue, founded in 2006, is revolutionizing how leaders and organizations build high performance teams through coaching, consulting, and tools like the Integrity Game. We'll be exploring his founding story, how his business empowers clients in the leadership and soft skills space, and his vision for scaling this impact driven venture. So, with that being said, let's dive right into it. Jeffrey, welcome to Founders Future.
Thanks, Jay. What a great introduction, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, a phenomenal background that you have. So the introduction was needed there. I want our listeners to know who's in front of me. So truly an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show today, Jeffrey. So if we could start at the beginning, I would
Mm.
really like to hear from you. What specific problem in the leadership and soft skills landscape really inspired you to start Get a Clue and the Integrity Game?
Wow. I mean, it's a bag of humility. Like way back in the beginning, Get a Clue was the title that I gave to an editorial. I was the sports editor of the newspaper. And when I learned what an editorial was, like, oh, wait, opinions? Wait, can we do that on the sports page rather than just doing an article of names? So it started back then. Get a Clue is I would figure out something controversial, write an opinionated piece, and try to get more people reading the sports page than would have otherwise. So I could sell advertising. And that's what I was thinking, Get a Clue. And then to be really vulnerable, it's almost like a defense mechanism also. Because growing up, if you get picked on, like clueless. And so I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
saying, Get a Clue before anybody else could get to me. And so I've had a lot of jovial fun with my last name over the years. I signed up for my Clues letter and the Clue thing. You can do a lot of things with that. But then
Yep.
when my wife and I were newer in our marriage, and then our first child was coming, and it was the worst economy since the Great Depression. We surveyed the land and said, "Hey, Marianne, my wife, she's corporate, she's analytical, she's steady, like opposites attract, and I'm all over the place." So we just had an agreement that I would form a C Corp called Get a Clue. I would market myself as a consultant, maybe go get a real estate license and just see what's going on. I was Mr. Mom with our child at home, and we were figuring out real estate and where we were going to live, work, and there was a lot of moving parts, and it was stressful back then. And I just started marketing myself.
Yeah.
I had the business card with the guy holding a light bulb, the clip art. Need some ideas? Get a Clue. And Jay, truth be told, I didn't know what I was doing. I
Yeah.
would hand two. I would have two cards. I'd have the real estate card. And I would put on my real estate costume, and then I would have my clip art. Get a Clue. And but I was meeting. Guess who I was meeting? Financial advisors, insurance brokers. You know what I'm saying? Estate planning attorneys, mortgage brokers, other real estate agents, real estate brokers, title insurance reps. They weren't hiring consultants. But they were hiring coaches. And so one guy, shout out to Brian Trachel, I met him at a real estate event. I handed him the two cards. He says, "Oh, you're a coach?" And I postured, Jay. I said, "No, read the card, man. Consultant." I'd made $0 and 0 cents as a consultant to them. But I postured. I didn't like, and then I was like, "What do you mean, coach? Tell me more about this." So that's what led me into. I went through three boot camp coaches trainings. I thought if I learn how to do that, I can attach my masters of communication, my experience in the classroom, my all the kinds of other experiences I could attach, and plus my
Right.
natural empathetic skills and my communication stuff. So that's what really got it going, the Get a Clue thing. So that was back in, like you said, 2006, and here we are, almost 20 years later. I was a coach before it was cool. In between then and now, everybody's a coach. But that's why I don't like calling myself a coach. On my menu, I think you alluded to this in the intro.
Yeah.
There's coaching, there's consulting, there's training, there's info products, speaker for hire. So I'm a soft skills guy and playing the integrity game.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. So, I mean, definitely want to get into the nuts and bolts of that for our listeners, because obviously, once this episode airs, Jeffrey, you're going to have a lot of people coming towards you for the services that you're providing. So let's get into that a bit. I have a three-part question for you here
Yeah.
for our listeners, and that's going to be around the offer. So what is the core offer? I know you do personalized coaching sessions, you do the integrity game training, public speaking workshops. How is that structured for your clients as far as the offer goes, and who is the ideal client that you work with?
Oh man, these are tough questions. I say that because communication is industry agnostic. I don't care what your vertical is. I don't care what country you're in. Everybody needs to communicate. And if you peel
Yep.
enough layers of the problem onion, you're going to get to communication is the issue at some point. So ideal client, there's a couple of different avatars that I really like. But when you talk about core offer, what I want to tell you is I built my current career by offering two complimentary coaching sessions. Two,
Ah,
not one, which we all know is a failed sales pitch. Not zero, like I don't offer free coaching. If you want my time, you got to pay me, which is posturing
right.
and BS. And then not more than two. Hey, let me just coach you till it works, and then you'll refer people to me. You understand? So the core offer that really got my career going was it's up to two, then it's up to you. It's up to two, then maybe we're through. It's up to two, then you'll get a clue. I was having fun with that. But the idea is I realized, wow, coaching isn't an impulse purchase by the side of the register. A lot of people don't even know what coaching is, especially as distinct from mentoring or friendship or therapy or
Right.
consulting or training or what have you. So hang on a second. And I remember I went through boot camp coaches trainings, but I wasn't so sure I was being taught how to enroll people in coaching. You follow? Or what I was taught wasn't working for me or didn't work for it was there was a little bit of a snake oil, so to speak, or find the wound and the wound and it didn't sit well. And I was concerned because I told my wife, "Hey, if I learn how to do this, I'm 8 weeks away from starting to earn money as a coach." And 4 weeks in, what they were teaching me on how to do comp sessions and how to enroll people in coaching, it didn't sit with me. And I had to figure out a new way. I had to add my own knowledge to it. So I relied on diffusion of innovations, right? What are the qualities of a new idea that allow it to be accepted or adopted by a population rather than rejected? So trialability came in. Can we do risk-free trial? And then it led me to be thinking that if accountability is such a huge piece of the formula, and that's something I think that we're going to end up talking about today, is at the end of the day, accountability is really what it comes down to. But if accountability is part of the formula, and that's what people are really needing in a coaching relationship, in a private coaching relationship, to be held to account, the mirror, the confrontation, the dialogues, etc. Who's ever experiencing accountability in one comp session? Oh, hey, I'll do a free 30-minute consult. And what's that behind you? Sign up here. It doesn't work. So it hit me, like the main thing that hit me, it changed everything in my career, I believe, is I decided it had to be two. I had to build enough rapport so that I can get honest answers to my diagnostic questions about like where does it hurt? How bad does it hurt? And then ultimately, I decided that I'd get to the end of the first session and assign goal setting homework. I would teach goal setting, right? And say, hey, if you get the second session, if you like the first one, but you have to draft your goals. And I say
Mm.
draft, not set, because goal setting is hard. I don't know if you've talked to anybody about goal setting, but less than 3% of the population sets goals and they confuse it with hope, wish, dream rather than we've learned the SMART goal setting methodology, but I even changed that. I added an A and changed the R to make it more about behavioral change, which is the real barrier. Anyway, I'm going a little bit on a tangent here. So the point is that I said, hey, this was a great first session. Was this valuable? We know the three areas that are the most important that need to be changed. We've constructed you on goal setting. Are you willing to do homework? And then come back. I'll give you a second session if you commit to drafting your goals and you give me permission to hold you accountable. It changed everything,
Amazing.
changed everything. And so then when they would come back in the second session, then I could say, hey, the first session doesn't repeat. That
Right.
there's only one of those. But today I'm going to show you what coaching looks like moving forward when you hire me as your coach. So you've made one commitment. It's in section two that will address that with a yes or no. But first we'll start with open-ended wins and challenges to reconnect. Boom, boom, boom. And I would instruct them on the anatomy of a session so they could start to visualize, like test driving a car. How many
Right.
times have
Right.
you ever bought a car without test driving it? So this is
So,
proven throughout history.
yeah.
Okay. So, like the farmer's market, if you put three samples out there, they taste one, you're going to buy something. So, what's that for coaching? And that's the code that I cracked. And I ended up teaching that, putting that into my coaching and leadership training, the curriculum, teaching people how to conduct complimentary sessions and build their practices and so forth. So, that's like the core offer. It still exists, it still stands. Anybody wants two complimentary sessions, hit me up. It's free, but the idea is it's structured and it's detailed and it's immersive. And I remember people saying, "How can you afford to give away 2.5 hours of free time? What if they don't pay?" And it's like, how can I afford not to? You know what I'm saying? It's okay if I'm talking to the person for 2.5 hours and they're not the person that's going to be hiring me because I'm building up all of this goodwill energetically. You follow, the reward doesn't have to come directly from the person I'm serving. I just have to be in service and the rewards will come as they have.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So with that, you've seen so much success here, Jeffrey. I would love to hear your mindset now, being that you've been in the game for about 19, going on 20 years.
Yeah.
What is the mindset on continuing to scale the integrity game and get a clue? Where are you there? Are you happy with where things are? Are you looking to keep scaling it, keep productizing the offer? Walk us through where your mindset is for the
Yeah, yeah. There's so much we haven't gotten into, but no, never happy. Happy,
yeah,
never satisfied. If you're not growing, you're dying. And so, to your point, scaling, I originally created a coaching and leadership training. I thought, wow, if I could, because public speaking is how I would go speak everywhere I could. Hey, you're a great audience. You all get 2 comp sessions.
yeah,
And the ones that would sign up, I would enroll them and then refer and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But I thought, wow, if I keep doing this, what if I speak to 50 people and 20 of them don't want the 2 sessions? I'm going to need other coaches trained. So that's
yeah,
how it started, is like my experience as a professor led me to curricularizing my own approach to coaching and leadership training. And so what did I learn? What did I like about that? What do I not like about that? Change it at least 20%, call it my own. The rule of thumb, if you change anything 10 to 20%, you can call it your own. And then moreover, improve the pedagogy, improve the learner experience of how somebody's going through compared to what I went through. What I went through was great, but it had some shortcomings, of course.
yes.
And so it started there as, hey, let me just train other coaches in the model. But here's the funny part, Jay. Hey, do you want to be a get a clue coach? What the hell is that? Oh, get a clue. It's my last name and it works for me and it's cheeky and jovial for me and it's part of my psyche. And nobody wants to be a get a clue coach. They wanted to learn what I knew. They wanted to have the successes I was having. They wanted to know the secret sauce and crack the code and learn how to enroll people in coaching.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to be a get a clue. So anyway, fast forward years later, I like the integrity game. So the integrity game doesn't have my name attached to it. Somebody might want to be an integrity game certified coach, an integrity game certified speaker, an integrity game certified trainer.
Hmm.
And so I realized that's part of it. Everything's multi-determined. So one of the pieces to the integrity game is that it didn't have my name attached to it. I've been building the brand for 5 years and I'm still super associated with it. But now I can sell I got the intellectual property, so I can sell licenses and certifications and I can have disciples. So there's a couple people, like one woman in Australia, another woman in South Africa, that have licenses to the integrity game and use the model to build their practices, right?
Amazing.
And so the integrity game is a 10-point model.
Hmm.
And it started off as a dialogue inside the coach's training, right? So the accountability portion, Jay, I don't know if you've ever had to do any coaching, had employees or direct reports or even
Yeah.
clients that you advise where it's your job to hold them accountable. So the training says if somebody commits to something in session A, and then they come back to session B, having not done what they committed to, what are we supposed to do? We and so now I got to confront you. Now I got to kick your ass. Now I got to light a fire under your ass. Now I got to get in your face. None of that. I said, time to play the integrity game. So the integrity game is this cute little soft title that I gave to what otherwise is a confrontation. And we know about ego defense, like emotional fight or flight response, and smoke and mirrors and storytelling. And we judge ourselves by intent while the rest of the world's. I know that people are going to put up smoke and mirrors and slip and slide and all the other, right? So I say,
Right.
time to hold you accountable from what you committed to. You can't do that. You got to invite. Let's play the integrity game. Okay, own your behavior, understand the consequences of your behavior, and then decommit or recommit. It was just a three-step dialogue, is
Yeah.
in an accountability frame, right? But then over the years, 10,000 hours of coaching sessions and all of the accumulation, I was asked to do a keynote for the Specialty Advertising Association in California. And I put the integrity game on the list of topics just to make the list look sexier.
Right.
They chose the integrity game. I'm like, okay, now I got to put a keynote together. And next thing I know, I'm getting download from source and the synapses are firing and there's a convergence of all of these otherwise disconnected pieces that still are in the land of accountability. And I thought, I can't talk about the three-step dialogue for
Right.
45 minutes. What is it? Next thing I know, this 10-point model is coming really clear in my head. I'm able to see it visually with metaphors and everything.
Hmm.
And I had spoken about accountability and mentioned some of these pieces, but now like this keynote got it together for me, and it became a framework, a 10-point framework. And then the thought leadership piece of it is, how are we using the word integrity?
Yeah.
How does the word integrity vibrate? And can I widen, can I deepen our understanding of the word integrity as a master of communication, as a thought leader, but then as a practice builder, a practitioner? Can I get this out of thought leadership and conceptual and cerebral and into practicality? Is it possible for people to improve their integrity or just be accused of not having any? You follow? Can we make it stepwise? Can we make it actionable? Is the water cooler trapped and stuck with just accusations and finger pointing? Or can we actually hydrate, if you will,
Yeah.
somebody that has less integrity into more? Can we, in other words, like a building bridge or a tunnel will collapse under pressure tests without structural integrity. So I believe so will individuals, teams, and organizations. So
Right.
how do we, from a soft skills perspective now, how do we retrofit? How do we stabilize? How do we reinforce the foundation and you know what I'm saying? Like what needs to be tightened? What needs to be, and so this, it's all metaphorical, but we don't do it. People need to stop, take a moment, and retrofit themselves to get firm, stable, steadfast, unwavering, get clear about who they are, what they want. And so then when the pressure tests come along, it blows off like a 2-mile-an-hour wind rather than crushes the whole structure. And hey, very politely, no. Thank you for the offer. Thank you for thinking of me. But this is the game I'm playing. If what you're offering integrates with my game, it's a polite yes. And if it takes me away from my game, I love you, and it's a polite no.
Absolutely.
So I'm still at a high level conceptual. We can get into more details, but it's very simple. The integrity game is the 10-point model converts to 10 sets of questions.
I love it. I
And
love
now the integrity game is understand the questions, answer the questions, make sure your answers go together rather than repel or dilute each other. And then advanced level play is share your answers with an integrity game certified coach and be held to account for your own answers to your own questions. But what a big amount of responsibility for somebody to declare what their purpose is, for them
it.
to
Right.
lean into their and optimize their gifts, for them to declare their potential, set their goals, make commitments to strategy, share those commitments with people that on and on. So these are the points on the model.
Yeah.
And it's still evolutionary. I still don't know exactly where it's going to go,
Yeah.
but I got the IP. I've delivered the Integrity Game keynote in many different areas. The book that I wrote for the Integrity Game, it brought me out of retirement from teaching and back into the classroom at my alma mater, San Diego State. So from CEOs to college students to salespeople to
Yeah.
you like the message lands because we all need to look within.
I love
We
it.
all
I
need
love
to.
it. So with that there, I would the time is flying by on us, but I would love to know a couple more things here,
Yeah.
Jeffrey. On that side, as far as your sales process and team goes, what does that look like after all this time and the success you're having? Are you still running the sales? Do you have a
Yeah.
sales
No,
team?
yeah. Don't let the background fool you. I'm still like, this is the honest transparency of it all. I'm a solopreneur.
Wow.
Yeah, I drive it all. It's me. I'm training other people, and close to 100% of my income is because I'm doing the selling. I'm writing the proposals. I'm
Wow.
quoting the rates. I've got 4 or 5 proposals out right now, plus my retainers and my license holders and so forth. There are some instances, and it's funny because it's not necessarily the focus of our conversation today, but as much as I love Get a Clue and the integrity game,
Yeah.
which I'm building, I also love Coach Jeffrey,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is my independent contract brand. So now teach me what your brand is, watch how much of a quick study I am, and see if I can communicate your brand promises better than you can. So bring Coach Jeffrey in so that I can increase the engagement, credibility, and revenue for your event.
Wow.
So, for example, there's an organization right now called Founders, FNDRS, Founders, FNDRS.io. The founders have successfully gone through exits and unsuccessfully too, all the
Right.
bumps and bruises of
Right.
exit.
Absolutely.
And now they've committed to creating exit education for other founders. So now it's an independent contract for me. I don't talk about the integrity game at all. I'm just Coach Jeffrey
Yeah.
as director of education to assemble their curriculum and show up to their events and help lead from the front of the room and provide one-on-one coaching to the attendees at the events. Like later on today, I'm going to have lunch with one of the founders in their ecosystem to keep the rapport. So that's more fun because I don't have to drive the sales. Does that make sense? Like we were at an event in Key West last week, and of course they're giving a $30,000 offer, 25 grand if you pay up front. And I don't have to close that. I don't have to collect the credit card on that. I don't have to say sign right here. I get to be a speaker and a supporting coach, which contributes to the sale. but I'm not responsible for the transactional piece of it. I'm more of the transformational piece of it. So
Right.
I love that. I've had lots of success with Coach Jeffrey winning with white labels. Let's decide what and you know how this goes. If I don't have to do the sales, if they're assignments, instead of self-generated clients, then my rates change. Like
Right.
you do all the work of cost of client acquisition. Okay, then I'll take this for the full day. But if I have to go and get that client myself, it's going to be this for the full day.
Exactly.
So I've got Coach Jeffrey, where I'm a hired gun in other ecosystems,
Yep.
in addition to Get a Clue, which is my C Corp overall that owns the Integrity Game, which is the brand that I'm building with intellectual property and
Absolutely.
framework, et cetera. Now we can deliver all the soft skills through the 10-point framework.
Incredible. So just a couple more questions for you before we can
Yeah.
here. And on more of a high level here, would love to understand what's working best for you now on the acquisition side. How are you getting leads, especially being a solopreneur, having so many ventures that you're on? What are you doing to get consistency on the clients
Yeah,
coming in?
for me, by the way, what's consistency? What's that? Like again, I'm committed to being 100% vulnerable and transparent. There's
Yeah.
no such thing as consistency except the inconsistency of being a solopreneur in a
Right.
soft skill space, etc. But I do have answers to your questions. For me and my behavioral style, it's networking and speaking.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going on to podcasts. I've joined Provisors. I don't know if you're familiar with Provisors, but it's an organization for networking professional advisors, 10 years of experience or more. So I have my home group and I visit the other groups and building huge network with trusted advisors here in San Diego, but I could guest in other areas of the country. Vistage now, I'm a Vistage speaker. So I can go in and speak to CEO groups. But again, it's not necessarily consistent because you're not supposed to sell to them. You're just there to provide the value and help the Vistage chair, etc. But that is going to create lead generation exposure through social media and so forth. So for me, it's networking events, it's relationships, it's public speaking, it's podcasts. These are the things that I'm doing to be out there and present and to generate leads and opportunities for proposals and so forth.
Absolutely. It's obviously doing so much in person, but sounds like a bit more predictability can definitely help on that side, maybe around ads, social media, just to continue to
You
get
know,
into the door.
I haven't run ads yet.
Interesting.
I've built a little team of marketers. They're like, because I like mentoring young people, right? So digital marketers, they're apprentice style in nature. Their work may not be good, but if it is, okay, there you go, you got something. But I've got the social media poster, I've got the copywriter, I've got the funnel guy that builds landing pages and makes sure everything works and go high level,
Yeah.
right? We've got somebody redoing the website right now, and she's creating the promo graphics for the 90-day challenge that we're going to do in the fall. So I've got people that are helping me with things to build the more passive.
Yes.
Hey, if you can't afford my rates, well, go over here and join my membership site for free, and then get into any of the upsells for 97 a month, 250 a month, 500 a month that we're building over there. But I'm actually conflicted because the digital marketing and the funnels and the e-courses and so forth, I don't know how consistent that is with where I'm headed
Right.
as founder of the Integrity Game that's ready to go in and make organizations, certified Integrity Game organizations. Like imagine EOS for operating systems. Why not the Integrity Game for learning and development? So that's
Absolutely.
the vision. When you talk about vision, where's this thing going? I want companies to be like, hey, we're an Integrity Game certified company. We have a license to use the Integrity Game to help our employees with learning and development. So there's a lot of nuts and bolts on the ground that I'm dealing with, but I also have a vision for what this could be in the future. It's going to take time.
Incredible. Incredible. So I just have one more question for you here, Jeffrey, before we wrap up the show.
Yeah,
I
man.
could sit here for hours and talk to you. I would love for you to just provide a bit of advice for our listeners. It's clear as day that you have so much experience, so much success, and are truly changing lives here. It's been an honor having you on the show. What can you leave for our listeners before we wrap it up today?
There's so many things. I wish that I could be prompted. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what for your listeners. Are you ready?
Yep.
Kluby snacks. Jay,
Ooh,
pick a number between 1 and 52.
let's go with 17.
17 is a good one, I think. Let's see here. Because Kluby Snacks is a book that I've recently co-authored with my daughter. The original Kluby snack was my wife's homemade cookies. And then my motivational quotes caught up. Kluby Snacks, when people would write stuff down. I love your smile right now. So I've been doing these Get a Clue in 52 books, right? With 52
Yeah.
tips in them. They're made for social media and we put that out there. So this is one of those. I'm just calling it Kluby Snacks to be silly and jovial. And this is my new brand of motivational quotes. So we have 52 divided by 4 is 13. 4 baker's dozens.
I love it.
Loving flavored, ego flavored. Right now, we're in the discipline flavored section before we get to integrity flavored at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Kluby snack number 17 is from the ego flavored. And part of it you'll recognize, and then we added the Kluby snack piece at the end. It goes a little something like this. You cannot laugh at others if you cannot laugh at yourself. And if you love laughing at others, it's probably because you don't love yourself.
Yes.
So there's 51 other pieces of advice and Kluby snacks and thought provocations in here. So it's my quote and then my daughter's journal style response. She's 17 years old. She's going to Fordham University next month. We drop her off in New York City. So this is a very good emotional thing for me, daddy-daughter time, and clearing up the am I a good parent thing and have I taught her enough before she goes. So there's all of that.
Yes.
Which I wear it on my sleeve as a family man and the dad and the father and the husband I want to be. But ultimately, this is personal professional growth. This is very helpful. We want to make it fun and easy to look within.
Yeah.
We want to make accountability less threatening. So to your audience, I would say don't take yourself too seriously, but take every opportunity you have to be better very seriously.
I love it. I absolutely love that. And again, what an honor it's been having you on the show, Jeffrey. With that right there, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And again, just thank you so much to you, Jeffrey, coming on the show, an incredible journey and sharing your insights with us. And again, just clear as day, the passion, the drive, where you're really looking to take this thing, and clear as day that you're going to get there. So again, thank you so much, and really want you to come back on the show in the future, give us some great updates. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, we've got lots to talk about, Jay. You do a great job. It's been my pleasure to be here. So the gratitude is mutual for sure.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners, of course, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And also check out Get a Clue at getaclue.net. And that is Clue, KLU.net, for their free membership library of soft skills resources. And follow Jeffrey on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/get a clue. And for more resources and insights, don't forget to visit us here at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.